Hello everybody, this is Erik Bryant and I am coming to you. I am starting a show here on YouTube called The Erik Bryant Show. Now, if people watch this show and they have suggestions on a catchy name or something to give the show, then they can reach me on Facebook, Twitter. I'll give you those tags later on and help me rename the show, but for now it's just going to be called The Erik Bryant Show because I'm Erik Bryant and it's my show. Just briefly to talk for a moment, I'm 32 years old. I'm a huge sports fan. I've been watching wrestling since I was 6 years old. So I like to think I know a lot about sports. I've been watching football, basketball, baseball for a long time, played them in high school and recreationally. Tried to become a wrestler when I was in college. I went to the Power Plant, which was the workout facility for WCW, which not many people know that. My family doesn't even know that. But things didn't work out because I was told I was too small in the ring, which a lot of people were told that, which is why I like guys like Rey Mysterio, the Kidmans, the guys who made names for themselves in the business, who were also told they were small, but they were able to persevere and go forward. I tried to wrestle a bit in the independent circuits for a while, but that didn't really work out well for me, so now I'm just a regular guy with a regular job. But I would love to try to get back into shape and get into some form of aspect of wrestling again, whether it be wrestling, being a referee, whatever, commentator, because that's why I went to college. I wanted to become a sports broadcaster. So anything that I could do in the field of sports, radio announcing, anything like that, I would love to be able to do that. But let's get on with this show. I'm going to be talking about sports. I'm going to be talking about wrestling, a little football, basketball, baseball, and this is the first show, so I'm going to start it off with some wrestling. I took some news and rumors and notes off of a wrestling website that I read sometimes called WrestleZone, and I'm going to be sharing some news and things with you here that some of you might have already read, some of you may not know. So those of you who don't know, I'm going to enlighten you now. I'll be looking over from time to time to look at my notes because, of course, I can't memorize all of this news. If I could, I would be on TV somewhere and not just on YouTube having a YouTube show. Alright, now, the first thing is FCW talent that Triple H is high on. There's 3 women wrestlers there. This one lady actually competed in Tough Enough, Ivelisse Velez. She's wrestling in FCW under the name Sofia Cortez. Also, you have Raquel Diaz, who is Shaw Guerrero, who is Eddie and Vicky Guerrero's daughter. And then you have a girl wrestling under the name Paige, girl named Brittany Knight. Now, those 3 ladies are said to be very talented. Brittany Knight and Ivelisse Velez are actually said to have better ring skill than half of the divas that are currently on the WWE roster. And I don't want to trash anyone, but that's not, you don't really have to have much talent, in my opinion, to be better than half of the divas that are on the WWE roster right now. But that doesn't mean that these girls aren't talented. I'm just saying that the current diva roster in the WWE has a lot to be desired, in my opinion. Shaw Guerrero is said to be really green in the ring, and I have watched some of her matches on YouTube, and she is very green. But they said that her charisma, her mic skill makes up for that, and Triple H likes those qualities in her, which Eddie was a pretty good mic skill guy, but she didn't get the mic skill from her mom because I wouldn't call what Vicky Guerrero does on the mic skill. That's just me. And also an FCW star that I'm sure a lot of people have seen, Michael McGillicuddy, which real name Joe Hennig, the son of Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig. Triple H high on his talent as well, and he thinks that Joe could be a huge star one day. And I hope he's right, because I like Joe Hennig's in-ring work, and I'm kind of biased because I loved his father's in-ring ability. Mr. Perfect, I think one of the best technical wrestlers of all time. Now, if you haven't heard about Sunny, Tammy Lynn Sitch, she had to go into rehab recently, and the reasoning for her rehab is depression due to loneliness. They said that she's had some really bad Fridays, binging and things like that, when she has to be alone and away from her boyfriend. Her boyfriend named Damian Darlin, which just sounds like a wrestling name, but that's the man's name, Damian Darlin, actually gave her an ultimatum, to either go to rehab or their relationship was over. And all I have to say about this Damian Darlin guy is he must be doing something right, because if he can give an ultimatum like that to Sunny, wow. Because I don't see how anybody could let Tammy Lynn Sitch be lonely. I'm just saying. I mean, she might be getting up there a little bit in age, but she's still the original diva, and I still have dreams about her from time to time myself. But anyway, moving on. We also have the DirecTV Viacom war, and that's the Viacom dropping the 25 channels. It fluctuates from day to day. Sometimes some reports say 25 channels taken away from DirecTV. Some reports say 26. DirecTV saying that they're working on trying to get the 17 channels back. So it's like, what happened to the 8 or 9 channels that you guys were talking about the other day? But originally, today, the news has been fluctuating. Earlier it said that the talks were going backwards between the two. Then it said Viacom has backed out of talks, and they don't know when Viacom and DirecTV would talk and meet about it again and come to an agreement. And recently, DirecTV is saying now Viacom is just basically talking, trying to, as a scare tactic, and they are actually in talks and should be getting an agreement done soon. So who's telling the truth, Viacom or DirecTV? I guess we'll find out when the channels are back on or when they're not. Either way, we will see. Really doesn't hurt me a lot as far as me having DirecTV. I do watch TV Land from time to time, and that is one of the Viacom channels. The Spike TV, the only time I really watch it is for Tonight and Impact Wrestling. I'm missing that, but I'll find it on YouTube or TNAWrestling.com and get caught up with last week's episode as well as this week. So I'll be alright with that. There were reports that Chris Jericho, Y2J, was originally supposed to win the Money in the Bank match for the briefcase for the WWE Championship. And then Jericho was set to be the first man to unsuccessfully cash it in. He was actually going to cash it in at the conclusion of the CM Punk Daniel Bryan match at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view on Sunday. But inside sources say that a week before the event, they decided to change it up, go with John Cena to win it. And that is why Cena's match, the Money in the Bank match, was after the CM Punk Daniel Bryan match, making it the main event, because the writers and Vince McMahon did not feel that a CM Punk Daniel Bryan match was climatic enough to be the ending without a cash-in of the Money in the Bank contract. My thing is this, not to go into all of that, but if it's not climatic enough to have the main event be your WWE champion, something's wrong there with somebody, some writer or something, Vince McMahon himself, I don't know. But to me, back in the old days, you didn't need climatic conclusions created when you had the world champion. You put him in the main event in the title match, and win or lose, it was the best match on the card. And I believe CM Punk puts on the best matches on the card, so I think he and Bryan being last would have actually made sense to me. But hey, the pay-per-view is done. It is what it is, and Cena did get the victory. And former WWE star Chavo Guerrero signs with TNA Wrestling. Chavo can help a depleted X division, in my opinion. He can also help. He's a veteran wrestler. He can help come over and put over some of the younger talents. Like to see him work with guys like Zema Ion. He's pretty much the only one I really know right now in the X division, because they've lost Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin is injured, Amazing Red left, and WWE is stocking up these guys to do their potential cruiserweight show on their WWE network if and when it ever launches. Just take a few seconds. I like how people who are WWE fans always say that TNA takes all the WWE's talent and everything, but WWE is trying to relaunch this cruiserweight division, and it's funny how 2 or 3 of the guys that they've recently signed or tried to pick up have come from TNA. Just saying, not trying to start a debate, just stating facts, people. Karma was released, which is kind of a little bit of a controversy, because some people think it might be a work and she may still be at the 1000th episode of Raw. She was put on the alumni page on WWE.com on Monday, and they said that she was released due to her tough year that she's had with the birth of her stillborn child and everything. They said that they parted ways on good terms, so whenever Karma's ready or the WWE is ready to use her in some capacity, that the doors are open, the offers on the table, so she could come back at any time. Hopefully she will be able to, because I think Karma, with the addition of the recent signing of Sarah Del Rey, one of the best independent women's wrestlers out there, if not the best, really would have helped to put that women's division into an upclimb, and maybe bring women's wrestling back to the way it was when Fabulous Moolah, Sensational Sherry, and those women were wrestling back when I started watching wrestling. But I don't know, they did say Karma has a 90-day compete clause, so if she were to try to go back to TNA, she'd have to wait 3 months, 90 days, but she left TNA on bad terms, so I'm thinking if and when you see Karma again, it will probably either be going back to where she performed before in the Shimmer promotion, or back into the WWE. And hopefully she'll be back there soon, and I wish Karma the best, hoping she gets through her difficult situation, and back somewhere in the wrestling ring. WWE saying that they are planning a big summer angle to end the 1000th episode of Raw. If you remember 2010, in the summer, they ended that Raw with the Nexus attacking everyone, with John Cena, CM Punk, all those guys in the ring, attacking ring announcers and things like, and people like that. Jerry Lawler, everybody got attacked. And then last year, the big angle that they had last year was the CM Punk shoot interview after the Cena and R-Truth tables match. And they said they don't really know what that angle is going to be yet, but they are trying to come up with something. I'm going to take a brief pause. I'll be back for part 2 of the show. Hope you're enjoying it so far. Hope you're watching the Erik Bryant Show. We'll be back in a few minutes.